Hello everyone, happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm Beth Maxwell and this is my stamp studio, and tonight we're going to have our third class in our March Madness Trifecta. It was supposed to happen on Saturday. I had left for out of town super early Saturday morning, but Friday night I loaded everything up and had the video all set to go, and for some reason it crashed. So because the video then was deleted from my phone because I didn't think I needed it, I'm like, well, okay, that didn't work out so well. So I'm going to be doing it live tonight, and I will be putting it up on YouTube. So don't worry, if you're watching it on YouTube, yay, you got the third class. This class is a special one that I'm offering. It's actually 3 classes, and you can choose 1 class, 2 class, or all 3 classes. They're each the same price. It includes the stamp set. So in tonight's class, we're doing the You Are Remarkable. So you have the stamp set, you have a yard of ribbon. In my package, I forgot to wrap it up nice. And then you have 5 card kits. So you have everything that you need. It's all die cut and everything for you. You just need your inks and adhesives and whatever embellishment you would like to use. Now, I do have this extended to be March 20th. Originally, my cutoff was March 18th, but because the video didn't go live on Saturday, I'm extending it. So if you are interested in my online class and you are not on my email list, please use the link in the description, or if you're watching on Facebook, in the comments in the Facebook, and you can actually click that link. What it will do is it will tell me to send you an email with the registration information, and then you would sign up from there. Because it includes a stamp set, I can't put the link for the class directly on any social media. So as Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, we got to abide by some rules, and that's one of our rules. So without further ado, I'm going to flip my camera down. So if you get dizzy, close your eyes for just a moment, and I'll tell you when to open them. All right, so close your eyes. Or if you like, go for a ride. All right. You can open them now. Let me just steady my camera just a little bit. Okay, so our first 2 classes were the Resourceful Rusty and Tags of Thanks. These are both up on YouTube and on Facebook, so you can watch them. And then tonight we're going to be doing our You Are Remarkable. I don't know, I was really torn between these 2 classes. Yeah, and normally I don't purchase a lot of flowery stamp sets, but this one just, I don't know, it really spoke to me. So we will be using our Stays On ink, our Granny Apple Green, and hold on, I just gotta go to my one page to find out which colors I was using because I kind of forgot. Berry Burst, and these are, these right here are all part of the Brights color family. Daffodil, and Early Espresso, which is one of our neutrals. But, oh, you know what? That's why I'm not using Stays On. I was using my Early Espresso. Okay. So we got Berry Burst, Daffodil Delight, Early Espresso, Granny Apple Green. Okay. These are the colors that we're going to be using. You can swap out for whatever you have. Feel free, okay? But those are the stamps that I'm using in the class. And if you want to do the class like I've designed, then you'll want those. Otherwise, like I said, feel free to swap out whatever colors you have. All right, let me go back to my Facebook page here so that I can make sure that I'm actually broadcasting. Oh, I saw someone say hi on my phone, but I want to make sure that I'm actually seeing it on my page. There I am. Okay, let me expand it so I can see the comments. So if you're watching, say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. Well, hello, Beth. Welcome. All right, we'll let a couple people pop on, and while I just kind of organize my little chaos here. Like I said, I was out of town, so yeah, I got back, last night. Not too late, but we then had the grandchildren over. And they end up staying overnight. Those little sweethearts and adorable bundles of fun. We're not bundles of fun last night. Excuse me. I'm just really tired. Because they didn't sleep. I mean, they didn't sleep. I think it was maybe an hour. All right. Sorry, I'm just going to get a sip of water here. This is not one of my normal lives. It's going to be a class, so I'm just going to go through things, and Idle Chit Chat will be, oh, it'll be saved for Thursday night. Okay. So again, in this class, this is sent right to you. It's your You Are Remarkable stamp set, and then it has these 5 fun envelopes. Each of the envelopes is numbered in the lower right corner. That tells you what card it is when you look at your tutorial. I do email a color PDF tutorial. It has all the, it has pictures, color pictures. It has measurements, supplies, and step-by-step instructions to make the cards. But as I pull out the contents of each envelope, you will see all the things that I've done for you. So really there's not much, there's no die cutting that you need to do. I've done it all for you. So all you have to do is stamp. Stamp and adhere. That's all. Stamp and assemble. Or as I like to call it, the lick and stick or a stamp and stick. Whatever you want to call it. All right, so our first card here, let me get my card out. Here it is. It's going to be this fun one. And I'm not going to be giving measurements on the video because they are in your PDF tutorial. All right. So let's go stamping with this one. We've got our thick white here. I'm going to just fold that in half. Grab your bone folder. Oops. Holy light change there. Just a moment. Okay, grab our bone folder. Give that a good press. And it's not... I don't like that light either. Sorry, I had to adjust. I got a new little ring lamp. And, yeah, it just is, I don't know. It's not what I'm used to, so. All right. Well, happy St. Patrick's Day to you too, Anne. All right, so we've got our 2 circles here. Let's start with stamping our basic white here. I just need to grab a scrap piece of paper. And, well, I don't want to do that because that's my tutorial. Okay, don't want to do that one. All right, I've got a scrap piece of paper here. I just have to grab it. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm going to shove my stamp pads up so they're kind of out of the way more. Because it feels like I'm going to actually have to put them on my side. I have my camera in a different position, so it's not quite where I need it to be. We're also going to be pulling in Wink of Stella tonight. And our neutral matte dots. Now this is part of the embellishment package that you can add to your class order if you'd like. So I always add some little extra things that you can order as well as your class kit. So these are called my add-ons or my extras. Right. So we'll be using that tonight because I'm going to show you, am I going to color with that one? No, we're just going to add a little sparkle on the cards. I was trying to find my cards and yeah, we're just going to add little bits of sparkle. Maybe on this one I'll show you a new technique with it. I'll do that. Okay, so we've got our basic white here. We're going to bring in our stamp set. So let me just get this peeled off. We're going to be starting with our large flower here. So I'm going to grab my block size. What block size is this one? This is my letter E. All right, so put that on there. I need my letter D block for my stem, and I'm going to grab another D just to make my life easier for my sentiment, and my C for my flower. Let's see, my sentiment is going to say, sometimes the simplest things mean the most. So put my sentiment right on there. And we need our little bitty guy here for our flower insert. All right. Okay, so I'm pretty sure we're using just about every single stamp in here tonight. I feel like we are. Okay, so here's where I'm going to stamp my sentiment on. I'm going to start with my early espresso here. And let's just stamp our sentiment first. Okay. So put that aside. We're done with that one. Let's bring in my chamois here to clean this. I'm going to try to clean this. Well, maybe I'll just put things on the side. All right, so let's go ahead and ink up our flower here. Now, a lot of times I will take my stamp pad to my stamp versus my stamp to my stamp pad. Just depends on how that stamp is. Sometimes it's easier to do that. I'm going to just turn my cardstock, and I'm going to start over on my left here, and I'm going to make that the highest flower, the tallest flower, I should say. Right? I'm going to ink this again, and then I'm going to add another one right here. And I'm not really worried that my flowers are overlapping my green. It's fine, because in nature, that's what happens, right? And then we'll bring this one up. And it is stamped off, so you can see how that is, right? If you feel like you wanted to go a little further, I probably should have went a little further now, and we can just add a little more. Okay, so that's that. Let's close that up. Let's grab our berry burst. And I'm just going to ink my flower. I'm going to look through my flower at what I've already stamped and kind of line this up. It doesn't have to be perfect. And there we go. If you like it lighter, you can stamp it off, and then I'll stamp this one a little lighter so you can see. And then have a much lighter pink. Okay. So now, in between each one, I do need to clean this. Oh, I need one more flower that's berry burst. Again, if you like a lighter pink, stamp it off once. But this is kind of a distinctive stamp, so it doesn't stamp fully inked basically all the way around. Some parts are a little lighter than the other. And it's meant to be that way. All right, just make sure I got that clean, because now I'm going into my yellow. I don't know why I didn't start with yellow. I typically do. We're going to move this out of the way because I don't need this for the moment. We'll bring that back in. We're going to stamp our stems. Oh, I guess I will need it. All right, let's stamp our first yellow flower here. Again, just kind of line up your petals. Bring back in my scrap. And just lining up my petals. All right, let's clean that off. And now I'm going to go ahead and bring in my granny apple green and my stem here. It is a very pretty flower. Like I said, I don't always, I buy a lot of things that are more nature-like, but you know, after a while, I'm like, oh, I have so many flower sets. I don't want another flower set. But I said, I saw this one, and I'm just lining up my stem here. I saw this one, and I couldn't help but think, oh, I need to have that one. So again, it didn't line up perfectly that first time. That's all right. I'm okay with that. It's really meant to have more like a watercolor look on this particular card, so... And you just got to turn it to line it up. Now just line up your leaves. I try to line up my stem that goes to my flower, and then these other leaves. And got a little bit over here, so I'll just come in. I think it's this one. I gotta see. Must be this one right here. All right. Okay. Now I just re-inked my my stamp pad. So it's much darker than my original. So this is a little bit lighter. This is the one that I stamped off just to show a little bit of a difference. But okay, so that's that. I'm gonna need that again. I need to clean this off, but pretty much all the things I'm using, I'm just gonna leave on the block. So I think I'm gonna be changing up a lot is the sentiment. All right, we're gonna bing, 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 bing. We're gonna bring back in our early espresso. And I'm going to take my early espresso, and I'm going to stamp my insides. Now, that's pretty dark, so I stamp it off once, and then I stamp my inside. I really want that kind of little pattern to show through, so that's why I'm stamping it off. And there we go. All right, let's bring in our Wink of Stella here. Shake it up really good. Give it a little, oh, what happened there? Hold please. There. I don't know why that did that. Just give it a tiny little squeeze here. If you squeeze too much, you're going to get stuff flying out of here. I just want to make sure it's not my dry one. I had one that was kind of dry. I think that is. So let's see if I have another one handy. I know I do. Just got to find it in my little rotating tray here. Here it is. There we go. All right. So it says push. And when I shook it, it kind of got all over. Okay. I'm not going to push it because I already know that some's going to come flying out. So now I'm just going to take it and paint the inside of my flower. Just give the little inside a little sparkle. If I feel like it's getting faint, then I can give it a little squeeze. I always squeeze on my scrap paper. I don't squeeze on my project. Because if it comes gushing out, then I get mad at myself. So I try to always squeeze on my paper. All right, so we're just going to put that away right there. And we are going to have more, so don't worry. All right. Give it a little moment to dry here. And let's go ahead and take our circles while that's drying. I'm just going to adhere the two together. And then I will use dimensionals to pop it off the front of the card. Okay, maybe I will if this rolls. Now, if you notice, it's just a very thin piece. Yours actually... Man, I don't know what's with me tonight. Well, I did eat a cookie before I came on. All right. Class mode. Okay. I'll grab my dimensionals now. And we'll put those on. All right. Simplest things mean the most. Go ahead and add some adhesive to the back of my card. And yeah, that bled through a little bit. That's okay because it's going to be on my thick white cardstock. No one's going to see it. All right, so this is our card one. I'm going to add my embellishments. Now, you can use whatever embellishments you want or order some and add them later. Totally up to you. The reason I didn't have extra embellishments and ribbon and designer series paper to my class is because you got the stamp set. So because of that, you know, I normally offer about anywhere between $20 and $25 in product to my classes. But this you're getting the stamp set, so I just had to give you what you needed. All right. And this is really hard to separate, so I'm not going to do it. All right, so that is our first card. Ta-da! All right. Excuse me, card number 2. Let's get out that little bundle. I'm going to put these right in their envelope. Okay. Card number 2. I just love these colors together. You could even, I'm using Early Espresso because I wanted to keep the same ink through all the cards in this class. But I would probably do this in my Stays On Black and do it in Stays On. I think, and having black here instead of the brown, the Early Espresso would be fabulous. But I really like this card still. So this is the one we're making. Just giving you different options so that when you go to make more cards and you're using your tutorial, you actually have some ideas. All right, so you have 2 pieces of basic white in there. That is one for the inside and one for the front. All right, so put your inside one, just put it aside. These 2 strips here, we're going to put our Early Espresso and our little strip of Early Espresso off to the side. And in my envelope, I have a hexagon punch as well. So all that's done, all of it's cut for you. You just have to stamp and assemble. All right, we'll move that off to the side. I don't want to get that dirty, so I'm going to go here. I'm grabbing our Early Espresso. And we are going to randomly stamp this flower all over our basic white cardstock. So in essence, we're creating our own designer series paper. All right. No rhyme or reason on how I'm stamping it. I'm just stamping it to kind of fill up my white area here. Now we are going to put in some filler stuff, so don't worry that you don't have enough. There, okay, just like that. We're going to put some filler in. I know it doesn't look like much right now, but it will when we're done. All right, so now I want to add in my granny apple green. We're going to do our stems first. And again, I'm going to look through my stamp. Now, it's kind of hard to do when my project is way up here. I'm pretty far back from my project, so I'm just going to try to, I'm going to stamp it off just to show you what it looks like stamped off. Again, just trying to line that up. And I'm turning my project as I go, looking through. Now, if I can do this without my head right over my project, I'm pretty sure all of you will be able to do it too. I'm stamping off because I don't want that granny apple green to be like the focus of my card. I really want the focus of my card to be those pretty flowers. All right, oh, I still need that, so we'll clean this stamp. And now we're going to grab one of the other stamps we haven't used yet. I told you I'm going to try to use every single stamp here. All right, next stamp. Let's just pull this whole thing out. Leave that one in. All right, I need this small block here. I need this one and this one. All right, so I pulled out all my blocks. Now, I have a lot of blocks because I'm a demonstrator. You know, I have classes, so you don't have to have as many blocks. You can, you know, move them around. Let's get our sentiment stamped right away, since I have it right here, before I forget to do it. And I am going to stamp the, you are remarkable in every single way. So this would be a great card for someone who's maybe not having such a great day. Maybe someone just to let you know you're thinking about them. Maybe someone's kind of feeling blue. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp this in my early espresso. Okay, that was not good. Well, this is why I get my hand sanitizer. So I just put my hand in my ink. So I just need to clean it off real quick. So I have a handy dandy little towel that sits to my side, and my hand sanitizer, and my rolling rack. All right. Okay, so I'm going to stamp that. And then I'm going to add a little dimension. So you all probably thought this was cardstock behind here. It's not. It is actually just my ink. So I'm going to gently drag my tag across my stamp pad. Now again, I said gently. Go back and add ink. Don't try to force it all at one time. And you don't want to ruin your pad. So you just want to gently do this. And this punched shape actually works really well for this. Right? And what we're doing is just trying to add a little accent, make this stand out without having to have a whole bunch of stuff. All right, there we go. I'm going to close that up for right now. I'm going to move this off to the side. Bring back in my pattern here. And I'm going to take this little, I don't know what to call this. This little square. Okay, we're going to be stamping that. We're going to use it in full strength. And we're just going to randomly stamp around. Again, I didn't want my green to be my focal point, so I'm just doing just a few. If I feel I need to come back and add one later on, I can. All right, so we got that one done. Now I'm going to come in with these little splotches here. And we're going to do this in early espresso. Again, I'm going to just stamp it off. And I'm just going to go in places where kind of there's a white area. It's okay if I stamp on my flowers a little bit, no big deal. just kind of turning as I go. Just going to give myself a little bit of fill. All right. And I feel like I need one more down here. Now, if you're at a point going, ooh, should I add another? Should I do another? No, don't. Just stop right there. You can always go back later on. It's always when you're like, ooh, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. That's when you stop. All right, now we're going to take our yellow, our Daffodil Delight, and stamp our flowers. So again, just looking through my flower, lining my petals up. And sometimes it's off. Oh, well, that one was pretty off, but that's okay. It was stamped off so far that I really couldn't, I couldn't line up my petals. All right. Now I'm doing this really quick, so mine aren't as lined up as I would usually like. It's okay. The card is still going to turn out beautiful. Just saying. It really is. This stamp set will make any card look beautiful. All right, so we got all of our flowers stamped. We're going to come back in with our early espresso again and our little center of our flower. Again, it's really dark, so I do want to stamp off each time I do it. I mean, you don't have to. You could stamp it full. I just prefer seeing that really unique design that they have in that flower. There we go. All right. That one's done. Okay, now we just need to add this to our layers. So let's move that out of the way. Okay, bring in our sample. Here we go. Here we go, and here we go. All right. That's for the inside of the card. I'll stamp that in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere these two together. Now this one I kept pretty flat. If you want to add more dimensionals, you could. All right, now this is a very thin layer around that. And you decide which way you want your thing to go. If you're going to do this way, put this off to the side. But just to figure out which way you kind of like. I kind of like my little sentiment going over here. So now I'm just going to take my 1/2 inch strip here of early espresso, put some adhesive on, and just put that right across the front. And I'm going to put it right in the middle, kind of. All right, just like that. Now we're going to pull this in and we'll pull in our dimensionals. I don't know why I keep putting them off to my right. They should be on my left because that's where I'm looking for them. So 1, 2, 3. Again, if you like what I'm doing so far and want this class sent to you, you can go ahead and order the class. I'll send you everything that you're seeing right here, except the ink. You have to have your own ink, and I scored that really badly. Hold on. You'll have to have your own ink and adhesives. I don't know why I folded this so terrible, but I did. All right. So if you ever have a piece that didn't fold quite right, flip it over and just use your bone folder and you can get it all lined up again. So I'm giving you so many extra tips in this class. Woohoo! That is the fun part of being in class and taking a class. I always have some sort of little tip, or you get tips from other people in the class. All right, and this is our card. So now we're going to add our embellishments. I'm going to add these little brown ones here. I think they're like pecan, but these are the ones I'm going to add in. And I'm going to put 5 of them on here because I have more than enough to do that with. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need one more. And we'll put it right over there. 5. Okay. So, ta-da. All right. That is card 2. All right. Let's move our stuff off to the side. I'm going to clean this one because I'm not going to use that one again. pretty much, I don't think I'm using the spots either. So I'm going to put those two things away just because our next card is going to be kind of busy. Not busy in a bad way, busy in a good way, but it just, I don't want to have extra stuff distracting me here. And it does happen. All right. All these extra blocks away that I'm not using. All right, now by far, I think this is probably my more favorite card. Oh, I'd love to show you if I knew where I put my cards. And it's actually pretty easy to do. All right, so here is our card. So Friends of the Flowers in the Garden of Life. Now, in your class, you also have a yard of this ribbon. So I'll be using that. So we'll be using the ribbon on the card. Now, you can use as much ribbon as you want on whatever cards. I just used a little bit just to show you how it is. And I attach my ribbon with my mini glue dots. All right, so in this one here, there's quite a few pieces. So slide out your envelope. What I always tell people is don't pull everything out of all of your envelopes at once. Just pull out the envelope that you're going to be working on. I've actually separated this and organized it for you so that you don't have to try and figure out what pieces go where. I've already done the hard work for you. All right. So I have a piece of basic white. This is my thick basic white. I have a piece of Berry Burst, which is going to go right here. It's a very thin layer. I mean, not layer. Very thin margin, I guess is what I want to say. This class is $32 plus shipping. And like I said, you do get the stamp set. You get the 5-card kit. You get the yard of ribbon. And you get the PDF tutorial. And links to the video. So I find that people sometimes lose their videos that they've saved. So I include that when I send the tutorial. You'll get an email with the tutorial and a link to the video. Now on this project here, normally I would probably stamp several layers of white and die cut them. But on this one, I thought, let's try something new. I'm going to get rid of this piece here. I'm going to bring in a new piece. So I've die cut all these shapes for you. Now I use the botanical or the textured notes dies. I love these rectangles. So there are several of them. In fact, I didn't put them away yet. So let's just pop them in there while I'm sharing them with you. There are so many different, patterns to these. It's just a lot of fun. So I love that we now have rectangle dies again. Again, these are an online exclusive. And all the supplies that I'm using in this class are going to be listed in your tutorial. So you can go back and find them over and over again. So what I've done is I've cut these pieces out. Now, I'm going to put them all back together. Okay, and I am going to stamp. So I just want to slide them in so that they're all together here. Okay, and I'm going to take my early espresso and I'm going to start with stamping my flower. Oh, I guess I did use the splotch and stuff again. Ugh. So this is kind of, I don't remember what this technique is called, to tell you the truth. It's been a while since I've done it. I love this technique though. So I'm going to stamp across all 3 layers. When I lift up, I just want to hold my cardstock so it's all in place. Because what happens is when I put the layers of other colors through here, it really looks like they're all connected. All right, so we're going to do this one over here. And again, I'm just randomly doing this. I'm making my own designer series paper. Now you could definitely do this yourself with just one sheet, but because I wanted to use these dies with this, I already did the die cutting for you on it. Otherwise, I would just take a full piece or a quarter sheet of my designer, a quarter sheet of my basic white and have that on there. All right, so this one I'm going to put this way. All right. This one, I'm going to actually go this way with it. Now the very middle is going to be hidden. Okay, so I'm not too worried about the very middle showing stuff. I think we're good with this. So now the next thing I'm going to do I am going to use those two stamps I said I wasn't going to use. I'm going to use them. I didn't realize I used it on this card. I designed my cards quite some time ago, so... Alright. And I am going to actually bring back in my... I'm going to do my other colors first. Sometimes I get distracted if it's all the, doing all the brown at one time. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Berry Burst on this one. I'm going to stamp my flowers first. Then I'll do my stems. And then I'll add in the other color. So let's just get this lined up. I like to hold, when I'm doing this, because I've die cut it, I like to hold this down. If I'm doing a full sheet, like this, I don't have to worry about holding it down. Okay. And I'm using the full strength of color. You can definitely, stamp it off before. It's your choice on what you want to do. Your card, your choice. Again, and just holding that in place so those dies don't pop up. And then stamping. As long as my hand doesn't get in my way when I'm stamping, I'm good. All right, I'm going to bring back in my Granny Apple Green. And it's up to you if you want to stamp off or you want to do the full color. I'm just going to do the full color. Oh, that was way off. That's because it was way over there. The card will still look nice, though. It's still going to be very pretty. They're going to be very impressed with you when you send this card out. And it's really not hard. Okay, I need to move up a little bit. Sorry. Let me get this out there. All right, let's turn this so I can get those other two here. And hopefully not get my arm in my stamp pad. So again, just take your time with it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you can take your time. All right, now you can choose to make your insides of your flowers whatever color you want. I am actually going to keep it with the brown because I'm going to use this little square to add pops of color here. So I'm just going to go through and stamp a whole bunch of these. And I want to make sure these layers are sitting together. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but just get them closer together. And notice I'm stamping on my stems, I'm stamping on the flowers. We'll take our dots now. And I'm going to do this full strength. So I'm just going to kind of just, in areas where there's a lot of white, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my dots. And notice I'm going over the different images I've already stamped. Okay. That should be good. All right. Let's put this out of the way. Now we have our three pieces just like this. So let's bring in our layers. This is going to be for our sentiment, and it's going to stay white. So this is our base, our first layer, and so we're going to be adding this one on. Totally up to you on how you want to add it. You can do liquid glue, you can do seal, whatever adhesive you have. I'm going to use liquid glue. It gives me a little bit more flexibility here, but you definitely use your adhesive of choice. And I'm just putting a thin line here. I don't want it to be gooshing all over. This is my outside one. All right, I just want to get that so all the edges around are even. All right. Now, notice when I put this on, I did still keep these kind of in order next to me, just so when I put them together, I can see where that flower is going to be. Now, this is going to be hidden a little bit. I just want to make sure I have my right layers here. Yep. Okay, so this part, I'm going to pop up with dimensionals. Now I'm going to use quite a few dimensionals because I don't want this to kind of go flat, you know, and be crushed. So I'm going to add a few dimensionals. All right, so now I got this one. Okay. All right. Make sure I have them all off. All right. And now I'm just going to lay this in here. Line it up. And if you don't have it perfect, it's okay because a little of the berry burst will show through. That's fine. This was just a little bit off. More off than I wanted it. Okay. Come on, come on. Let go. Let go. So sometimes just trying to get it. Come on. All right, here we go. There we go. All right, much better. Okay. So it's popped up and it looks like it's all part of one layer, but it's not. All right, next we're going to add this one. We're just going to use our liquid glue with this one. Now, this is the reason you have a hole in it, all right? Don't worry that this isn't that's not even. It's not going to matter. But this cuts down on the bulk of your card. Okay, I'm just going to center that right in here. Just like that. Now I've got my next layer here. All right, so it's going to go right in like that. And I'm going to go ahead and take liquid glue on the outside here. But I am going to put a couple dimensionals in the middle. All right, that's because I've got that little deeper part there. So I'm going to put 3 dimensionals right in the middle. Just to make it the same height here. Okay, and just center that right on there, just like that. All right, now we've got 2 pieces left. Let's go ahead and just take this and our liquid glue. I'm going to pop this right onto the middle, just like that. And we're going to get our sentiment. So flowers are the friends of life. I think I like this stamp set so much because I love the sentiments. All right. Again, you can stamp the sentiment with whatever color you want. I'm just going to stay with the early espresso. I think it pops out enough. So friends are the flowers of life. Now, if you wanted to be very creative, you can go ahead and grab a scrap piece of white, stamp a flower, and cut it out. I think that'd be very, very pretty. I just don't want to do it in this class. So, I had to get that clean. We're going to get our layer right here. We're going to go ahead and just use our seal or liquid glue, whatever you want. It is a pretty thick layer, so just make sure you have enough adhesive on so it'll stay. All right, go ahead and give that a good press. All right, we'll take our liquid glue or seal. It doesn't matter what you use. Put that right in the center. Okay. Now, I'm going to take my Take a Pick tool. I'm going to grab one of my glue dots. Let's see if it'll work. Normally I take my bow to my glue dot, but I'm going to put this right here. All right. Now, we're going to grab our ribbon. We're going to make a quick little bow. right. I don't want my boat to be too big. Just trying to make it even. All right, we'll grab our ribbon scissors here. Give it a snip, snip. And I'm just going to put this right there. All right, that is our card. Oh, I forgot to stamp on there. Oh, well. Here's my original card. So you can kind of see I stamped the center of the flowers. I forgot to. But it still looks really pretty, right? So, okay. Because I forgot to stamp, let's do an alternative here. Okay. I'm just going to take my Wink of Stella and just put it on there. Do. Like I meant to do it. Okay. You could actually get your Wink of Stella and put some ink on a block and color with your Wink of Stella. I'm just going to leave it like that. All right. So that's card 3. I don't want to put that in because that's wet. All right, card 4. Let's get going. We're almost done. Woohoo! We're cranking through these cards. All right, so card 4. This is going to be using our Granny Apple Green and our lemon lime twist. Yeah, lemon lime twist. All right. Normal card base. Oh, I should show you the card, hey? There's our card. I told you we're going to use every single stamp. That little bee just makes me happy. All right, this is for the inside of your card. On this one, I'm going to go ahead and stamp something. I didn't on the other ones. You can put whatever you want in there, because I would probably stamp it the same way for all 5 cards. All right, so we have some stamping that we're going to do on the outside here. We have stamping on our countryside dies. So I've done all this die cutting for you, and I've done the punch. So this is really what's in your kit, and you're going to be using a little bit of ribbon. All right, let's start off with the stamping on our card base. So I was so wrong when I said we weren't going to be using these spots again. Apparently, I must really like them because I've used them on quite a few of the cards. All right, so I just got my brown ink off of there. And we're going to stamp our kind of a little path down here to our flower. If you want to stamp along the whole thing, you can. I'm just going to stamp a little bit. And we'll, a little bit there. All right. Okay. I'll need that in a minute. All right, we're going to stamp our flower again, just like we did before. I will need to move this out of the way. You definitely do want to have a sheet of just scrap paper for most of these projects, because I think we've stamped off on just about every one. All right, so I'm going to turn my flower, and I want this really to be on the whole piece. I don't want it all the way to the top because I've got my little bees. I just find it simpler for me to turn it sideways when I'm doing the videos to stamp. Because it's such a big, awkward block, I like to turn it that way to stamp, if you're wondering why I'm doing that. Again, put my hand in the ink. Since we have this out, let's go grab our circle and stamp on our circle, wherever I happen to put mine. Well, where did that darn thing go? I guess I'll find it in just a moment when I go to do something else. I'll find mine. I'll find it. I won't stamp it right now, though. Because apparently I can't find it. All right. Well, hold please. I know I have another one here. Okay, which kit is it? Uh-oh. All right, well, I guess I'm not. Well, it's got to be under something. I'll find it in just a moment when I get to it. All right. Alrighty, let's just get going on this one then. Oh, here it is. Right there. Told you I'd find it. Okay, let's grab our sentiment. And I'm going to stamp the sentiment that says, "You are remarkable in every single way." Let's see, is that one it? Nope, that's the simplest things. Okay. I was just thinking about one of my friends was going through a hard time, so that's why I kind of really thought this stamp set was just the perfect thing. And this sentiment will fit right on this circle punch. A punch circle. All right, do I need black anymore? Yes, I do. I mean, early espresso. So now the only one that we didn't use yet was our little bee. So let's grab out our little bee. Doot, 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 doot. And look how cute this bee is. So we're just going to put this bee in a couple different places. I'm going to put one right over here. I'm going to put one down here. Because I know I'm going to be putting my circle over there. Now, the next thing I want to do is I just want a little bee and not his little trail to be right here. So I've cleaned it off. And as always, I'm grabbing my little handy dandy Scotch tape, Crafter's best friend, and I'm going to cover that little squiggle there. So I'm going to take it in my ink. I'm going to pull off that tape, put it in my garbage, and now I'm going to go ahead and stamp my little bee. Dude, isn't that cute? All right. Alrighty. Okie dokie. Got that done. Let's get our other stamping and our coloring done. We'll almost be done with this card. It's a pretty quick card to do. Oh, we've got to clean that because we're doing yellow. Now again, I really like, yellow flowers. I don't know why. I just do. If you want to stamp this in a different color, you can. But I like using the yellow. So I'm going to ink this up. We're going to stamp our flower. And on this card, on the center, I'm going to go ahead and stamp it full strength of the center, just so you can see what it looks like. But also, by the time I got to this card, when I was designing, I'm like, I'm tired. I don't feel like stamping off anymore. So, okay. So now you can see that here. I'll hold it up a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and get to our brown. Our green. Inking this up. Again, I'm not going to stamp off. I'm just going to line up my flower. My stem. Okay. And I don't know why this is looking so dark. It almost looks like Granny Apple Green when I stamp. It's going to lighten up. I don't know why it's looking so dark right now. Okay, so we've got that done. We're going to go ahead and pop this right on here. And then we're going to pop this on the card front, and we'll use our dimensionals to do that. We're going to grab our Wink of Stella again. I'm going to do a little speckling on it with our Wink of Stella. I will eventually put my sentiment right here. So all I need is one dimensional off to the side. Now, I'm not going to do that quite yet. I'm putting my dimensional there, but need to move down a little bit. Is that right? Will that work? Yeah, okay. I'm going to put this right there because right now what I want to do, I'm going to bring back in my scrap. I'm going to bring in my wink here. I am going to give it a little bit of a squeeze. Okay, I did. Yeah, that's really linking. All right. Then I'm just going to take it against my bone folder. And I'm going to move that up. Just give it a couple whacks. It just adds a little sparkle to my card. All right. Come back in. We'll remove that dimensional. Put it right here. So I'm bumping my dimensional right up to the side of that countryside die. And now we're going to take our ribbon again. Make a small little bow. Or big little bow. Whatever size bow floats your boat. Fills your cup. Tickles your fancy. I'm trying to use different phrases. All right. We'll get our scissors. I'm sorry. I was tying the bow off screen. Sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Again, camera's in a different spot, so throwing me off. So earlier I'd said that I normally take my bow to my glue dot. That way I know it's there, and I'm going to put it right here, right in the bottom, just like that. Let's grab the inside for this card. And, is that the inside? Just making sure I had two pieces over there that were different sizes. All right. So now let's just take our flower. Again, this is probably the way I would stamp all of these. I'm going to stamp a little flower here. Just going to stamp it right kind of lower. All right. And did I clean that off already? No. All right. And this one I am going to stamp off. Stamp my stem here. Right. Bring back in my flower. I stamp like in layers, and I assemble in layers. So if you're wondering why I'm kind of bouncing back and forth, or, you know, not stamping all at the same time, it's because I stamp by layers. All right, we're going to take our brown to the inside of our flower. And for grins and giggles, on this particular one, I'm going to add the bee. Yeah, we're just going to put the little bee right there. All right. I just think it's so cute. Okay. All right. One last card to go, because this was card number 4. Let's put this on the inside. And I didn't feel that I had to embellish these cards for, you know, all that much. If you want to add embellishments on that one, you can. I didn't for mine. All right, so that is card 4. Except for the ribbon. All right. And now, our final card is a very easy one. So we're going to be using, I'm going to clean this right away. This is actually where I use my Wink of Stella and my Early Espresso ink. All right, so first thing we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and move this off to the side. So you just want to fold your cardstock in half. It's folded in half because to fit in little bags that I put my classes in, it won't be able to be open. So it'll be folded in half for you already. I'm going to start with this. Now, one other piece of equipment, so to speak, that I need is a blending brush. However, if you have a sponge or, you know, some other kind of coloring tool, you can use that. And let's just see, we need this. All right, so we need our Berry Burst. So take this. And I'm just going to gently color the front. I don't need a whole lot, just a little bit. All right, I need my Memento I mean, not my memento, my early espresso. I keep thinking that I'm stamping this in black. But I really like kind of the softness of the early espresso. Basic gray would be another good one to do too. So I'm going to stamp this right here. Just like that. We'll close that up. Oh, let's go ahead and stamp our little inside again here. Where is it? Before I forget, I'm going to stamp that off. Okay, I'm done with that one. We'll bring back in our berry burst. Stamp the flower. Oh, let's see, where's my flower? There we go. All right. And I'm going to bring in that little hashtaggy thing. It's not really a hashtaggy thing, but you know, the little square. In my envelope, these little things didn't fall off. You have two circles here. One's for your sentiment, one is for this little pattern. So I'm just going to randomly stamp this all around the circle. Doesn't matter direction, just stamp it. All right, clear that off. And now we're going to take our sentiment, and I'm doing "You Are Remarkable." Where'd it go? Did I go here? Okay. But again, I don't want to stamp the whole sentiment, so I only want to stamp "You Are Remarkable." So I'm going to actually take my tape. Because that kind of curves, I'm going to use it at an angle right here. All right, just like that. So we'll ink that up. I'm going to stamp it just to make sure. Okay, that looks pretty good. Like, to make sure I didn't get too much extra like I just did there. All right. Okay, then pull my tape off. Grab my small circle. You are remarkable. There we go. Close that up. And we're going to be putting these kind of offset from each other, but we've got a couple other things to do. I'm going to get the little technique showing with the early espresso and my Winca Stella here. All right. So I like to use an older Winca Stella. So that's what I'm going to do here. Oop. I'm going to put that on my paper because it feels like it was going to go running. All right. So I'm just mixing my inks together. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and just sparkle it just a little bit. If I want to add a little more, I can. Okay, totally up to you on what you want to do. And then just kind of wipe that off, just like that. I'm going to put this right here on my paper because I don't want Winca Stella on my chamois. All right, we're going to throw that piece away. It's wet. Okay, cover that back up. All right, let's get this on our piece of Berry Burst. Okay, let's take our ribbons. We've got some ribbon left. I'm going to just wrap my ribbon around, just like this. So this way I don't have to use a lot of ribbon. Just a little tidbit for you. So you don't have to go all the way around. You could, in fact, even tie a bow. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, here's what I did. So I just laid my ribbon across the front, deciding where I wanted to go. I flipped it over. I added some seal. And then I just wrapped my ribbon piece right around there. And I'm going to trim it. That way I don't have to wrap it all the way around and tie a bow. If I want to add a bow to it, I can. Because I'm adding those circles, I'm not going to need a bow. All right, so this one, this circle here, is going to slide under my ribbon. About, not like 2/3 of the way will be showing on top. Then I'm going to grab my dimensionals. I'm going to close my ink over here before I land something in it. And I'll put some dimensionals on there. Put this right there. So I'm covering kind of that bottom stem a little bit. You can have it showing, up to you. On my original card, I had it showing. This one I didn't. So let's get this popped up on dimensionals as well. We'll put it to our card base. And on this one, I am going to throw some embellishments on. Again, basic rhinestones would be great for this one. If you have the champagne gems, you could even use like the party dots, whatever goes with the colors that you're using. All right, so there we go. Let's just bring this in. I just felt I needed a little bit of something on here, so I'm just going to use my black because it really does kind of pop out. And we'll just put this one right down there. All right. Okay, so card 5. So I hope you enjoyed this class. Again, if you're interested in purchasing this class, I will have a link for you to actually go ahead and fill a form out, which sends me a notification so I can send you the registration link. Again, I can only email that link. I just want to add a little Wink Stella there. I can only email that link because I'm including the stamp set in the class. Just policy. All right. So let's just recap with the cards. That way you can see them. When you purchase this, the tutorial will also have the link back to the videos, but I will have this up on YouTube. Facebook will be removing these after a while. After 30 days, it's going to delete the video. So just new Facebook stuff. All right. So hopefully I can get them all on the same screen. Not quite. Okay. Let me try to move it up. Let's see how far up I can go. I should be able to get them all on there. All right. So again, here is our 3rd class in our March Madness Trifecta. This is the You Are Remarkable class. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope you all want to purchase the class. All right. Take care. Have a wonderful evening. I will be live again for Hump Day Lunch Break on Wednesday and Stampin' Fun and More on Thursday night. Bye.